Tributes are pouring in for legendary gospel singer Sissy Houston. The two-time Grammy winner and mother of Whitney Houston died yesterday in her New Jersey home at age 91.
The renowned Whitney Houston is the subject of new rumors circulating in the entertainment industry. Rumor has it that the outstanding vocalist, who is recognized for her memorable classics, may have an unexpected relationship with another well-known celebrity. Sissy Houston, Whitney's mother, has allegedly corroborated the rumors, lending credence to them. People are wondering, after hearing this, what these rumors are all about. What was Sissy's sentence? Who was the famous person associated with Whitney anyway? Devotees can't wait to find out what this fascinating narrative is really about. Now that we've set the stage, let's go into the facts of these shocking allegations about Whitney Houston's legacy. We must first comprehend Whitney Houston's rise to fame and how it relates to these new claims before delving into these accusations. A wonderful American superstar, Whitney Elizabeth Houston, was born on August 9, 1963, and unfortunately passed suddenly on February 11, 2012. Her abilities extended beyond singing and record creation to include acting, film production, charity, and record production. Whitney, affectionately known as The Voice, is a legendary singer and one of the best-selling musicians of all time, with over 220 million albums sold worldwide. Without a doubt, she has had an indelible impact on the music industry. Her gospel upbringing and pop sensibilities, coupled with her strong, soulful voice, produced a distinctive sound that has influenced other musicians and raised the bar for vocal performance. Whitney accomplished a great deal over her career. On the Billboard Hot 100, she had 11 #1 hits, including a record-setting run of 7 consecutive toppers. However, her achievements extended beyond the realm of music. Whitney effortlessly expanded her fan base outside of the music industry by stepping into the acting world. She won an astounding 30 Guinness World Records, 22 American Music Awards, 2 Emmys, and 8 Grammys for her efforts throughout the years. In addition to her numerous honors, she was inducted into the Grammy, Rock and Roll, and Rhythm and Blues Music Halls of Fame, further solidifying her place in the industry. Whitney's path started in her musically inclined upbringing in Newark, New Jersey. She honed her singing voice while attending the New Hope Baptist Church. Whitney had already begun her career as a teen model and background vocalist by the time she was a senior in high school. In 1981, she made history by becoming one of only 2 black women to grace the cover of 17 magazine. At the tender age of 19, she got her big break when Clive Davis, chairman of Arista Records, signed her to a record deal. As a result of their collaboration, Whitney Houston's 1985 debut album and 1987 follow-up, Whitney, both of which were smash hits and topped the Billboard 200. In 1991, Whitney Houston had one of her most memorable performances when she sang The Star-Spangled Banner at Super Bowl XLV. Her emotional performance won over millions of fans and garnered her much-deserved accolades, establishing her as a formidable live performer. Her influence went well beyond the realm of music. In 1992, Whitney made her cinematic debut in the romantic thriller The Bodyguard, which was met with mixed reviews but went on to become the 10th highest-grossing picture of its time. The Bodyguard's score was so successful that it went on to win Album of the Year at the Grammys and is still the best-selling score of all time. Among its many popular singles were I Have Nothing, I'm Every Woman, and the legendary I Will Always Love You. The latter of these songs was named Grammy Record of the Year after sitting atop the Billboard Hot 100 for an unprecedented 14 weeks and breaking the record for most sold single by a female artist. Whitney went into film production in addition to singing and acting. She has roles in films such as The Princess Diaries, The Cheetah Girls, and Cinderella, 1997, and Sparkle, 2012, among others. Her flexibility and dedication to the entertainment business were on full display in her roles in these plays. A legacy of unparalleled skill, groundbreaking achievement, and enduring impact is what Whitney Houston has left behind. Her magnetic stage presence and tremendous voice changed the face of popular music and influenced generations of artists. In spite of her impressive career, Whitney had a complicated and troubled existence that left many questions unanswered and tales unwritten. Even as we remember Whitney Houston's incredible life, fresh allegations and speculation have surfaced, leading some to believe that there is more to her tale than what is initially apparent. Keep reading as we delve into some fascinating new details on one of the most adored musicians of all time. Whitney Houston's family background has been the subject of interesting speculations as of late, with some of the secrets allegedly being as unbelievable as the turns in a Hollywood movie. The rumor mill is rife with speculation that the legendary actress Teresa Graves, who played a pioneering investigator on the TV show Get Christie Love, may be Whitney Houston's biological mother. Yes, the identical Teresa Graves, whose personality and ability wowed crowds many years ago. While this may seem like something out of a tabloid or an urban legend, the reality is that the entertainment industry is full of twists and turns, and people's private lives are frequently just as enigmatic as their on-stage personas. Cissy Houston, Whitney's acknowledged mother, has supposedly come forward to admit and corroborate the long-running rumors, adding fuel to the flames. Houston has generally avoided the limelight in recent years. Both the outrageousness of the accusation and the indisputable similarity in appearance between Whitney Houston and Teresa Graves are what make this idea so intriguing. Many have noticed the strong resemblance between the two women, citing parallels in face structure, grins, and eye shape as examples. Is it just a strange coincidence? Or can there be some deeper meaning to these similarities? Speculation abounds as to the existence of a hidden tie that goes beyond random chance. There have been rumblings that Teresa and Cissy Houston were known or engaged in one another's lives in the past, which might explain why such a crucial secret has been kept hidden for so long. This adds another dimension to the mystery. For how long could a secret like this be kept hidden? The intricacies of familial relationships, personal space, and maybe the demands of celebrity and social scrutiny all play a role in the puzzle. For fans of biographies of famous people and the tales that make them tick, this mystery is far from over. Teresa Graves was the subject of these rumors. In this article, we will explore her life, her incredible adventure, and the tragedy that ended her life. Though she did not come from a wealthy or privileged background, Teresa Graves had something extraordinary, a light that shone through her. Teresa, who was born in 1948 in Houston, Texas, was the youngest of her family, and she had a rough go of it. Because of the racial segregation prevalent at the time, Teresa, an African American, faced unfair discrimination and little prospects. Teresa, though, seemed unfazed. She has a natural talent for making others happy and amusing them, even from an early age. Teresa was like a shining star. She jumped at any chance to perform. Her parents, who were poor themselves, saw her potential and rallied around her, showering her with unconditional love and unfaltering faith. Teresa never stopped working toward her goals, even as she became older. She jumped at the chance to perform whenever it came her way. In each performance, Teresa gave her all, whether it was in a school play or a community theater production. Nobody could not but notice her charisma and natural acting ability. Then, something truly miraculous happened. Teresa finally broke through on television. Her acting skills were on full display when she appeared on Laugh-In and the Smothers Brothers Comedy Hour. Her breakout performance as the sassy and brilliant undercover investigator Christy Love was the icing on the cake. This was no ordinary acting engagement, it was a game changer. With Get Christy Love, Teresa became the first African-American woman to host a criminal drama series. The concert was more than just entertainment. It was a force for positive change. Instead of being the helpless damsel in distress seen in so many Hollywood films, Christy Love took the lead in saving her own life. By proving that Black women could be strong, intelligent, and powerful, Teresa broke prejudices. People of different backgrounds gathered around the television to see Teresa's inspiring performance. She went beyond being an actor and became an inspiration to people all around the world, encouraging them to follow their dreams. Though she was known mostly for her acting roles, Teresa Graves touched the lives of millions more. Personal and professional difficulties were constant companions throughout Teresa Graves's life. She was married twice during her life. She kept believing in the possibility of a second marriage, even after her first with Richard Hooker ended in divorce. Teresa wed James Randolph in 1974, and they remained a couple until Teresa's tragic death. Teresa was very committed to her loved ones, even if she never had children of her own. They loved her and were there for her no matter what, guiding her through life's highs and lows. Her time spent with them was characterized by happiness, mirth, and solace. Aside from her work as an actress, Teresa had a number of interests that brought her happiness and fulfillment. She had a voracious appetite for literature and frequently lost herself in stories that inspired her. One of her other great loves was music. Her soul found solace in her enchanting singing voice. The role of her spirituality was significant as well, providing her with the strength and direction she needed to overcome life's unforeseen obstacles. Teresa faced many challenges throughout her life, yet she never gave up or gave in. She overcame enormous challenges in the 60s and 70s as a Black woman in show business. Her talents were often overshadowed by the obstacles of racism and prejudice. Teresa was unfazed and will not allow these obstacles limit her. True talent, however, knows no bounds, and she instead became an icon of strength and optimism. The abrupt cancellation of Teresa's revolutionary show, Get Christy Love, in 1975 was a low point in her career. The show's early demise was devastating, despite its success and positive reviews. However, Teresa's resilience shone through as she swiftly bounced back from this obstacle. She persisted in her pursuit of her goals, always on the lookout for fresh chances. Many found inspiration in her ability to persevere in the face of adversity. Her example was one that many would do well to emulate. Get Christy Love was Teresa Graves's breakthrough film, but she didn't stop committing herself to acting after that. Her dedication to acting was unfaltering, even though she was never able to regain the fame she had as the charming and brilliant detective Christy Love. The Love Boat and Fantasy Island, two of the most watched series of the late 70s and 80s, featured her in a number of different roles. But none of those parts were as meaningful or impactful as her detective character, who broke new ground as the first African-American woman to host a crime drama. Regardless, Teresa's will to maintain her relevance and involvement in the entertainment world remained unwavering. She decided to broaden her horizons even further by trying her hand at theater, where she could interact with people in new ways and showcase her ability. Time passed, and Teresa's priorities started to change. She progressively committed herself to charity and community service rather than merely pursuing popularity or financial success. A new chapter had begun in her life, one in which the pursuit of personal career ambitions took a back seat to the greater good of aiding others. Those closest to Teresa knew how caring and generous she was. She devoted a great deal of her time and energy to philanthropic endeavors, leveraging her position to help others. She proved that her influence went well beyond the silver screen by devoting herself to charitable work, which greatly enhanced her legacy. Not only was Teresa a talented actress, but she was also beloved for the warmth and friendliness she bestowed onto everyone she met. Those who were fortunate enough to know her describe her as an exemplary friend and role model, someone who motivated people with her compassion, honesty, and professional success. Her enduring esteem in the entertainment industry and the communities she served was a result of her remarkable ability to inspire and motivate people. A terrible house fire in 2002, started by a broken heater, tragically took Teresa's life. She died of smoke inhalation despite heroic rescue efforts, and her loved ones, admirers, and co-workers are devastated. Although her death was much regretted, it also led to a fresh look back at her innovative work in Hollywood and the motivation she gave to many artists and audiences. As a pioneer who paved the way for African-American actors in television, Teresa's impact was substantial and long-lasting, even though she never achieved superstardom after Get Christy Love. During the turbulent 60s and 70s, when civil rights movements gained momentum in the U.S., music was an important vehicle for both cultural expression and political engagement. This was a golden age for soul, gospel, and R&B, which gave a platform to the aspirations and hardships of people of African descent and beyond. During this revolutionary period, two prominent figures arose, Teresa Graves and Whitney Houston, who both built their careers on music. Teresa was a dedicated vocalist who had a profound connection to the era's soulful music before she shifted her concentration to acting. Whitney Houston became an icon of the musical diversity of her time due to her incredible singing talent and passionate performances. Teresa Graves was supposedly Whitney Houston's biological mother, according to an intriguing myth that started circulating during their careers. Because it linked two famous people whose lives and careers appeared to be interlinked, this dramatic assertion drew the attention of the public. Speculation circulated that the legendary Whitney Houston and the renowned actress Teresa Graves had a close, private relationship in addition to their shared musical abilities. Rumors and conjecture circulated across the entertainment and music sectors, leading to this accusation, even though no hard proof has been offered to back it up. Like any rumor involving a famous person, this one spread like wildfire. Many were captivated by the thought of a secret family connection between the two famous actors, so the notion really hit home. Particularly among Black women working in show business at the time, this level of privacy was the norm. Both Whitney and Teresa were under tremendous pressure to project an idealized image as they maneuvered through a society that was hostile to their race and demanding of them. As a preventative measure, many people hid their identities in order to keep their professions from being tarnished by scandals or problems. With this background, it's easier to see how such a rumor might have stayed under the radar for so long, unchallenged by the public. Subtle clues from inside the industry, such as interviews with carefully phrased remarks, private chats, and comments from fellow artists who appeared to recognize an underlying connection, suggested that Teresa and Whitney had a deep, maybe family, link. Still, none of the two ladies ever confirmed or denied the claims, so everyone was left to speculate. The phenomenal success and enduring influence that Whitney Houston attained during her life are inextricable from her remarkable skill. Her story touched the lives of millions of people all around the world because it was full of incredible ups and downs, successes, and hardships. Her personal struggles, which were frequently revealed in the constant limelight of fame, made her feel real, vulnerable, and deeply sympathetic, even while her unparalleled singing skill and creative genius catapulted her to the position of a worldwide legend. Her legacy continues to attract audiences and inspire their intrigue in part because of these levels of intricacy. The further mystery surrounding Whitney's identity was heightened by the rumor of her supposed link to Teresa Graves, which added another layer of interest to her narrative. Knowing the significance of family history and heritage in the entertainment and music industries will help you understand why this rumor caught on so quickly. The formation of dynasties is common in both realms, and the transmission of reputation and skill from one generation to the next results in family legacies that include both great blessings and tremendous burdens. This phenomena is shown by families such as the Jacksons, the Barrymores, and the Redgraves. A complex tapestry of aspirations, creative accomplishments, personal struggles, and triumphs spanning decades, and perhaps centuries, is revealed in their stories. There is a lot more to being a member of such a dynasty than simply sharing DNA. It signifies taking on the reputation, expectations, and occasionally responsibilities that come with being a member of a prominent family, as well as inheriting a legacy. This was an ongoing and complex source of stress for Whitney Houston. Not only was she an incredible vocalist, but she was also, supposedly, Teresa Graves's biological daughter, the cousin of Dionne Warwick, a famous performer in her own right, and the daughter of the late gospel singer Whitney Houston. There were public and industry-wide assumptions, comparisons, and expectations associated with each of these links. New perspectives and interpretations of Whitney's life narrative were made possible by this claimed bloodline. Within the framework of this purported family connection, she could reevaluate every challenge she faced, every breathtaking vocal performance she gave, and every decision she made. Many viewers felt that Whitney's tale took on additional complexity and depth after learning that she may have a secret relationship to Teresa Graves. It emphasized how ties to one's family, connections, and the burden of inherited legacies may shape one's artistic abilities. However, the fallout from these rumors was neither simple nor agreed upon by everyone. A lot of people were really interested in the idea of this hidden link, while others were more skeptical and wary of the supposition. Focusing on Whitney's alleged familial connections, according to some detractors, might obscure her unique path and achievements. Their view was that the artist should be seen as an individual who accomplished great things by her own skill, perseverance, and commitment, rather than being defined by the legends given about her family tree. True, the entertainment industry as a whole, and the music industry in particular, serve as microcosms where the boundaries between fact and fiction are often hazy. As a result, fans get emotionally invested in and attempt to make meaning of musicians' lives, both on and off stage. That Whitney Houston's private life has gotten so intertwined with her public character is nothing new. It's just one more way the demanding world of celebrity adds drama and mystery to people's lives. The public's view of Whitney became even more convoluted due to the rumors surrounding her relationship with Teresa Graves. It drew attention to the multifaceted ways in which artists' identities, their families, and their legacies shape their careers. In an industry where family ties typically dictate chances and expectations, the rumor appealed to a cultural preoccupation with origins and roots, regardless of its veracity. The notion also mirrored Whitney's larger struggles with confidence and self-esteem. She was a lady dealing with tremendous personal burdens, such as living up to her family's legacy expectations, the responsibilities of becoming a worldwide celebrity, and the intense scrutiny from the media beneath her flawless, powerful performances. With all these things on her shoulders, her moments of weakness were more moving, showing that there was a real person beneath the myth. In the end, Whitney Houston's impact is a combination of her exceptional creative achievements and the captivating, occasionally difficult, personal narrative that accompanied them. Even if Teresa Graves's relationship with her remains a mystery, The rumors around her show how closely linked fame, family, and identity can be in show business. It also highlights the reasons Whitney's extraordinary voice and the complex, emotionally wrenching story of her life continue to make her a cultural icon. The use of her life's narrative to provoke contemplation on the impact of fame and family history on the lives of remarkable people is profound. Whitney Houston exemplifies the difficulties of fame, family, and the dogged pursuit of artistic greatness. She is a symbol of profound humanity and dazzling achievement, according to fans and observers. Whitney Houston had tremendous success in the entertainment industry, but her personal problems started to overshadow her achievements. At a time when the media was fixated on her public struggles with drug addiction and the difficulties inside her troubled marriage to singer Bobby Brown, her 2002 studio album, Just Whitney, was greeted with mixed reviews. Her creative accomplishments were overshadowed by these widely circulated rumors about her substance abuse and marital problems, which brought her private suffering into the intense light of public scrutiny. Whitney made a strong return following her divorce from Brown. She made a spectacular return to the music arena in 2009 with the release of her final studio album, I Look to You, which flew to the top of the Billboard 200 list. No matter what happened in Whitney's private life, her voice will always be her most cherished and enduring legacy. She paved the way for subsequent generations of singers like Mariah Carey and Beyoncé with her expansive and pinpoint vocal range and flawless technical prowess. Fans and other artists alike were awestruck by her incredible singing abilities, which solidified her position as one of the all-time great vocalists. Whitney shone remarkable flexibility as an actor in addition to her musical talents. Her acting chops extended well beyond her singing in a number of critically acclaimed features, including The Bodyguard and Waiting to Exhale. These parts helped establish her as a versatile performer who could win over crowds with her singing and acting chops. But it was Whitney Houston's caring nature, not her extraordinary talent, that set her apart. She persevered in her philanthropic pursuits and gave much to organizations near and dear to her heart, all the while facing several challenges. She frequently used her position to shed light on the plight of underprivileged areas and offer aid where it was most desperately needed. She was an ardent supporter of children's welfare. Whitney was much loved for her humanitarian work, as well as her creative accomplishments, because of her warmth and compassion. The tragic discovery of Whitney Houston's body in the bathtub of the Beverly Hilton Hotel occurred in February 2012. She drowned in an unintentional drowning, with heart illness and substance usage being listed as contributory causes, according to the official records. In the wake of her unexpected death on the eve of the 2012 Grammy Awards, fans, colleagues, and the entire music business expressed their deepest condolences. A strong uptick in her music's sales and streaming followed her death, demonstrating the lasting influence of her talent. On February 18, 2012, Whitney's home church, the New Hope Baptist Church in Newark, New Jersey, had a private memorial ceremony. The amount of individuals wanting to pay their respects and the intensity of the emotions expressed caused the ceremony to run over its allotted 2 hours. Alicia Keys, CeCe Winans, R. Kelly, Kim Burrell, and Stevie Wonder were among the famous performers who gave moving performances during the ceremony. Hello, Kelly. The powerful mood of recollection was created by weaving these contributions with songs sung by the church choir. Ray Watson, who had been Whitney's personal bodyguard for more than 10 years, as well as her cousin Dionne Warwick, actor Kevin Costner, music director Ricky Minor, and longtime record producer Clive Davis were among those who spoke at the memorial. In particular, Aretha Franklin was supposed to perform, but ended up canceling. Although he left the funeral soon after it started, Whitney's ex-husband Bobby Brown was there. After her father, John Russell Houston, died in 2003, Whitney Houston was put to rest the next day, on February 19, 2012, at Fairview Cemetery in Westfield, New Jersey. Whitney Houston was an incredible force in the world, capable of much more than simply singing. Her voice could touch people's hearts, and her life story motivated people all around the world. Fans all across the globe were deeply affected by her untimely demise, which became one of the most watched and discussed entertainment events in the history of television. Her estimated $250 million fortune was a reflection of her enormous accomplishment. It was amassed throughout her stellar 25-year career, during which she accomplished revolutionary things. People all across the world are still talking about and celebrating Whitney Houston's incredible life and impact. A biopic of her life, I Wanna Dance with Somebody, was released in 2002. It paid tribute to the singer whose soul and voice are inimitable and recorded her remarkable journey for future generations. Would you believe these rumors? There was no proof connecting Teresa Graves to Whitney as her biological mother, despite the popular allegations. Absent from any presentation were any DNA testing, covert letters, or admissions. The absence of evidence, however, did not put an end to the rumors. On the contrary, it served to further obscure the situation and heighten interest in the tale. Some took the allegation as an effort to tarnish Whitney's reputation, rather than merely celebrity gossip. This strategy is common in the cutthroat music industry, where musicians are always under pressure to perform and compete. Any story involving rumors of an affair, but particularly one involving two famous musicians, is sure to be intriguing. Superbly gifted individuals in their own right, both ladies made a lasting impression on society. Whitney was unstoppable in the music business, while Teresa broke frontiers in television. The fact that they seem similar does not prove that they are related. No matter what happened between them, black women like Whitney Houston and Teresa Graves proved that they could make it big in the entertainment industry. While Teresa opened doors for others, Whitney's remarkable voice and stage presence were benchmarks. Even though they aren't connected in any way, history will remember these two remarkable women for the way they revolutionized their careers. It is our sincere wish that you have enjoyed viewing this film. To learn more about your favorite stars, just tap the link that appears. Seeing you there.